There's a silent epidemic spreading across the world. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't cause riots. It doesn't send people running into hospitals. But it's everywhere. In the eyes of the tired father who comes home and stares blankly at the TV. In the scrolls of the teenager who can't stop checking their phone. In the anxiety of the young adult who feels lost, even when surrounded by people. It's a deep, aching emptiness. A quiet feeling that something is missing. That life is happening, but not really being lived. That even though we have everything we thought we needed, food, a home, entertainment, people, we still feel unfulfilled. Why? Why in a world with so much opportunity, so much technology, so much connection, are so many people silently suffering inside? Why are depression, anxiety, and burnout rising? Why do people feel like something's wrong, even when nothing obvious is? The answer isn't as complicated as it seems. The truth is that most people are unfulfilled because they are disconnected from themselves, from purpose, and from meaning. We live in a world that constantly tells us what to want. From the moment we open our eyes, we're bombarded with images and messages. Get more money, get a better body, buy nicer clothes, be more popular, get likes, get followers, get recognition. The system is built to keep us chasing. But what happens when we get what we were chasing and still feel empty? That's when we realize the real problem. We've been taught to chase the wrong things. You can have millions of followers and still feel lonely. You can drive a luxury car and still feel like you're going nowhere. You can sleep in a beautiful house and still feel homeless inside. Fulfillment doesn't come from what's outside. It comes from alignment, living a life that makes sense to your soul. Most people are unfulfilled because they've never been taught to listen to their soul. They've been trained to follow trends, not truth. Think about it. From a young age, we're put into a system that rewards obedience, not curiosity. We're told what success looks like instead of discovering what it means to us. We're told to chase grades, jobs, titles, things that sound good on paper but may not bring joy to the heart. And so, people grow up checking boxes, go to school, get a degree, find a job, get married, have kids, retire. But somewhere along the way, they stop asking themselves the most important question. Is this what I truly want? Instead of living with intention, people drift. They go to work, come home, distract themselves with entertainment, and repeat, day after day, year after year. And the worst part is, they start to believe that this is normal, that life is supposed to feel this way, that emptiness is just part of growing up. But that's a lie. Life isn't supposed to feel like survival. It's supposed to feel like purpose, like connection, like presence. And when it doesn't, something deep inside starts to break. Unfulfillment isn't just sadness. It's the slow death of the spirit. It shows up in many forms: boredom, procrastination, addiction, anger, laziness. People don't feel motivated because their lives lack meaning. They don't feel joy because they've forgotten how to be present. They don't feel peace because they're always comparing, competing, chasing. And yet they never stop to ask why. Why do I feel this way? What am I missing? The truth is, most people are missing themselves. They don't know who they are. Not really. They know what they've been told to be. They know how to fit in, but they don't know what sets their soul on fire. They don't know what makes them unique. They don't know what their purpose is, and how could they? The world doesn't give us time to reflect. It distracts us constantly. It keeps us busy, noisy, entertained, just enough to ignore the whisper of our own heart. So what's the solution? It starts with awareness, with stopping, with getting quiet, You can't fix a problem you're not willing to face. You have to be honest and ask yourself, am I living a life that is true to me, or am I just surviving? This moment of truth is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It's the beginning of freedom. Because once you admit that you're not fulfilled, you can start the journey to becoming whole again. If this message hit you deep, my book, The Art of Not Forcing, will take you even further. It's not another hustle harder guide. It's a blueprint for realignment. You'll learn how to let go of the endless chase, stop fighting against yourself, and finally move with life instead of against it. This is about finding fulfillment, peace, and purpose without burning out or selling your soul. If you've ever felt that emptiness inside, this book is your compass back to wholeness. Don't just keep surviving, start living. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. The second step is connection, not to the internet, not to your phone, but to yourself. You need to learn how to hear your own thoughts again, how to sit in silence, how to ask yourself, what do I love? What brings me peace? What drains me? What excites me? These questions open the door to your inner world, and in that world, you'll find the keys to your purpose. You don't need to have everything figured out overnight. Fulfillment isn't about reaching a perfect destination. It's about building a life that feels aligned, a life where your actions match your values, where your time goes toward things that matter, where your relationships nourish you, where your work gives you a sense of meaning, even if it's simple, where you don't feel like you're performing all the time, but actually being. This means you may have to let go of some things. You may have to stop comparing your life to others. You may need to leave a job that pays well but kills your soul. You might need to cut ties with people who drain your energy. You might need to delete apps that keep you distracted. True fulfillment often requires sacrifice, but not sacrifice that makes you suffer. Sacrifice that sets you free. Fulfillment grows in the small, consistent choices you make every day. It's in the moments when you choose to be present with a loved one instead of distracted. It's in doing something meaningful, even when nobody is watching. It's in building habits that reflect who you want to become, not just who you've been. When you understand that fulfillment is a practice, not an event, you stop waiting for life to change, and you start shaping it, one intentional choice at a time. The path to fulfillment is not always comfortable, but it is always worth it. Because when you start to align your life with your truth, everything changes. You begin to wake up with a reason. You stop feeling jealous of others. You stop numbing yourself with cheap pleasures. You begin to enjoy the present moment again. You feel alive, grounded, real. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you find fulfillment, you no longer chase happiness. You create it. You stop needing the world to entertain you because you have peace inside. You stop needing validation because you respect yourself. You become magnetic, not because you try to be, but because you are whole. That's what people are drawn to. Real energy, fulfilled energy. It's not about being rich or famous or perfect. It's about being true. A poor man can be more fulfilled than a millionaire if his life aligns with his purpose. A quiet life can be more meaningful than a busy one if it's lived with love. Fulfillment isn't a luxury. It's a decision. A decision to stop living like everyone else and start living like yourself. So the next time you feel that emptiness, that sense of something's missing, don't ignore it. Don't scroll past it. Don't cover it with food or screens or fake smiles. Sit with it. Listen to it. That feeling isn't a curse. It's a compass. It's pointing you back to what matters. Back to your heart. Back to your soul. The truth is, You were never meant to live a shallow, empty life. You were made for depth, for truth, for purpose. You were made to feel fulfilled, not just for a moment, but every single day. And it starts the moment you decide to take your power back. Not from the world, but from yourself. If you made it until here, leave a crown emoji in the comments. I want to see how many of you reach the end and are truly willing to finish what you start. And remember, live with honor or die a coward. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and stay strong.